and welcome to Getting to Good Enough, a podcast to help you let go of perfectionism so you can do more of what you love. I'm Shannon Wilkinson, a life coach in Portland, Oregon. I'm a recovering perfectionist who's getting better at good enough.
And I'm Janine Adams, a certified professional organizer from St. Louis, Missouri, and I'm lucky enough to be naturally good at good enough.
And today, we're talking about relinquishing control. Something I don't like to do. Hey, Janine.
Hey, Shannon, how you doing?
I'm pretty good.
Yeah.
How are you?
I'm pretty good, too. I'm so happy to be sitting at your kitchen table again.
I know. I wish this was our permanent recording studio.
Me too.
It'd be so fun.
Yeah, I have to move to Portland, which I could think of worse things to have to do. Yeah.
I'm glad that you recognized that was the solution and not me moving to St. Louis.
Well, you would never do that. You couldn't handle the weather. You're not tough enough for St. Louis.
It's so true.
I've been away to Walla Walla and I'm back again. And so we were actually getting 2 episodes recorded in person a week apart, which is very nice.
It's so delightful. And it's nice to have control over that.
Yes, exactly, isn't it? That's one thing we do have control over is this podcast.
Yes. And we were just talking about all the things that we don't have control over that we wished we did or try to have or want to have.
Yes.
And how much frustration and angst and all different kinds of energy get wasted trying to have control over things that you don't have control over.
Right. It's funny you think about it. There are things we do have control over. Mm-hmm. Do we pause to appreciate that? Not very often. Well, no. Instead, we angst over the things that we don't have control over. But today we were sitting side by side, little nerds that we are, doing our YNAB. And I think, this is so great. We have total control over our money. It's so great.
Yeah, and it's really amazing how much control, like the feeling of control you have by knowing where your money is, how you've used it, and how you're going to use it.
Mm-hmm. And knowing that you can switch it up if you need to. Mm-hmm. So all that control that YNAB gives us is amazing. And again, those are things that we are able to control because we found this great tool.
Right.
Whereas before I was never in control of my money.
No.
But then we talk about the things in our lives that we have less control over and how challenging that can be, especially for people who tend to have perfectionistic tendencies, right?
Right. And I think there's so many examples of this, but one that I think is particularly useful to talk about is other people. Like, you don't have control over how other people respond to something, and you can use up a lot of energy trying to control how someone reacts or wanting them to react in a particular way, like wanting to have control over it.
Mm-hmm. Over the reaction, over the behavior, all sorts of things that are really technically not in your control.
Right.
When in fact, what you have control over is how you react to their behavior or reactions or so forth.
Yeah.
It's such an important lesson that I have to remind myself about a lot. I mean, I can't tell you how many times I have said that to people who are asking, friends who are complaining about somebody else, a spouse or whatever.
Yeah.
And I would say, maybe you just need to try not to let it bother you so mm-hmm. much, or figure out how you can react that would make it better. But then there's spouses who care about things that you don't care about, and vice versa.
Right.
That can be tricky.
Yes. It can be very tricky. And this is one of the things that if you deal with perfectionistic tendencies, and maybe your partner does not, or vice versa, although I presume you're the former if you're listening.
Very good.
Yeah, I had to think about that. Is that the former or the latter? But sort of negotiating those things, and I mean that both in terms of finding your way through it, and also negotiating with your partner about what each other's expectations are, and then not trying to control it after the fact. I mean, like once you've made the decision,
stick to it.
Relinquishing your desire for control. And I think that's really what we're talking about, is relinquishing your desire for control.
Right, because you don't have control.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, and it can be tricky. And it is a negotiation, I think, and sometimes, because at least in my marriage, the person who cares the most about something usually gets his or her way. Right. So there are things I care about that he doesn't care about, and like I don't like the way he folds the laundry.
Right.
So I do the laundry. Works for me. I don't mind doing the laundry. It's not that much of it.
Yeah.
But he would never have me do, like, I don't have to wash wine glasses.
Right.
Because I'm not careful enough.
Yeah.
I've never broken one, just for the record. And he has. But he thinks I will.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Free to let that one go. Yes. I don't need to control the wine glasses.
Yes, exactly. So long as they're clean when I need them.
Yeah. But it's so true. It's I'm thinking about that project, building that house a few years ago, and how I had to make a decision up front that I wasn't going to micromanage the contractor, that I was choosing not to do that, and that I was going to relinquish my desire for control over every little thing and just trust that it was going to be fine.
Was that an easy decision to make or a hard decision to make?
It was, well, I mean, it was sort of mixed. It was easy in that if I did not make that decision, I'm not sure I could have embarked on the project, because it would have been it was just over. I always used to joke that I could never build my own house because I could never make all those decisions. Mm-hmm. And so in order to do the project, like getting the project done was more important than me feeling the need to care about every detail. Mm-hmm. And so making that decision up front was very helpful. And, there were still choices to be made, but I think we talked about this in our decision-making episode, where I just told him, I said, this is the look I'm going for. This is how I need it to be. The budget. Give me 3 options. And that's what he did. And I picked 3 options, and he was stunned by that. He was like, no, really? You just can go to the showroom and look. I said, I do not. I'll go to the showroom, but you tell me the 3 to pick from. Because if I go in and I have to look at all the faucet choices, no. So it was, I think, thinking it through in advance and knowing like how much energy it would take if I sort of let that desire, that my natural tendency to want to sort of control everything, if I let that run rampant, that I knew it would just be too much. So it was very useful to do that.
Yeah, what strikes me is brilliant was that you not only made that decision, you came up with a mechanism to stick to it by asking him to present you with just 3 choices.
Yeah.
Because otherwise I would imagine it would have been a bit of a struggle along the way not to micromanage.
Right.
Yeah. So
and then I was so glad I put that into place, because things got really complicated with my mom in the middle of that.
Oh, that's right.
And that was when she initially got hospitalized, and I was driving to Oregon City every day, and then getting messages about picking out light fixtures. And I told the woman, I said, my mom's in the hospital. It doesn't look good. I'm having a really hard time making decisions. So I'm going to come there and I need you to just tell me what I should get. And if I don't like something, I'll tell you and you suggest something else.
Very clear communication.
Yeah. And she said, are you sure? And I said, absolutely. I can't do any more decision making than that. And that's what we did. We just walked through and she looked at the list and she said, okay, you need sconces for the hallway. I suggest this. I said, okay, you need this. I suggest this. Like, not crazy about that. Then this would be my second choice. Love that. Okay, and that we just went through and did it all, and it took like a half an hour when she planned to spend hours with me.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's great. That's something, I mean, I hope never to build a house, but I think that is like something to emulate.
Well, and that was me relinquishing control, like this illusion that I would know. I mean, I know what I like, but I don't know. I'm not thinking about all the details of like a porch light that someone who thinks about lights all day, every day would know. And so I'm trusting her expertise. And it all worked out really well. I love the light fixtures.
Isn't that nice?
Yeah.
Yeah. Right, because you were making those choices under duress. That's incredible. Yeah. So letting go of control over outcomes sometimes is hard. I was thinking about how now that I'm no longer working with clients directly, usually I've got team members who are doing the work. They don't all do things like I would.
Right.
But the outcome is actually always great.
Right.
Actually, I'm not letting go of the outcomes. They always come through. But
Right.
it's the, maybe they don't do it how I would do it. I can't be upset about that. That goes with the territory of delegation.
Right. Well, and I think that's probably, whether you made it consciously or unconsciously, you had to make the decision when you decided to start working with subcontractors that you were going to trust that they knew what they're doing and that they'll get the outcome that you and the client are after. And
yep, so far so good. After only, 12 years or 13 years I've been doing it. But I used to be on site with them.
Right.
And now I'm not on site with them very much. Yeah, I think that delegation can be really tricky, especially for people who are who have perfectionistic tendencies, right? And but it can be a way to give yourself a lot more ease and freedom, actually. Right. So you can let go of.
Right. And I think it brings us back to the thing we come back to over and over, but I'm not sure we've talked about specifically, is knowing your why, knowing why it matters to you, knowing, what your outcome is and why that particular outcome is important, because it makes it easier up front to let go of the things that you don't need to control.
Yes. Yeah, it really is everything. Knowing your why. Knowing why something's important to you. That's it.
Yeah.
It always boils down to that, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's good.
Yeah.
I love it when we're consistent.
I know. And we don't even try that. And so I think we're onto something here.
I think you're right.
58 episodes in.
We're on to something.
Oh my gosh. Wait, so that we missed our 3 years of episodes. But not our, because isn't 52 times 3?
Oh. Yeah, I feel like we just should celebrate our 3rd anniversary, which is, I think, June 15th.
Yeah.
Which is, and now it's not quite yet June. When will this air? It might air about that.
Oh, it might.
It might, yeah. So it was, it's 2 weeks from now, right?
June, I think this will air June 3rd or June 10th.
Oh, okay,
I'm not
yeah.
sure which.
So we're getting very close to our 3rd anniversary.
Yeah. Oh, well, that's exciting.
Yeah. I can't think of anything to do to like, I was thinking, we could have a virtual party. We could create some sort of badge.
I was trying to remember what's the
The anniversary.
What's the anniversary gift for third? So my anniversary is a year earlier. So we started this in 2018.
Yeah.
I got married in 2017. So I actually know what the third anniversary is. It's leather.
Oh.
So
What do we do with that?
I don't know.
We'll have to think about it. We have a couple of weeks.
Yeah. We can think about, our commemorative leather item for our third. Shannon, why do you have a crop that says getting to good enough? It's a long story. Yeah, but I think that it really saves a lot of grief for me when I allow myself to let go of trying to have control over things.
And it is something we have to remind ourselves of, I think, oftentimes. It's natural to want to hold on and get irritated or try to expect someone to do what we want.
Right. And there's something in NLP that is the meaning of your communication is the response you get.
The meaning of your communication is the response you get.
So that sort of speaks to people saying, oh, that wasn't my intention. But so, something has that meaning. And I bring that up because that's sort of where you have control, is in communicating in a way that someone can hear you and really understand what you want from them. And, so that you can communicate clearly, so you're likelier to get the kind of response that you want. But you don't have control over their response, but you have control over how you make the request.
Right.
Or communicate the information.
And practiced regularly, like mindfully, can be really powerful.
Yeah. Well, and thinking about it, like the conversation I had with my contractor, the conversation I had with the lighting specialist, I was able to let go of control because I could communicate to them so clearly what I wanted, and it was easy for them to understand what I wanted.
Yeah.
As surprised as they were by it.
Right. I bet you they wish everybody was like that.
Oh, yeah. My contractor said that numerous times.
Oh, yeah.
He's like, I would see him and he would be like making faces on the phone, and he would be like, why can't every client be like you?
Nice. Well, maybe we've educated the listeners of this podcast, and they can become perfect beloved clients by their contractors.
Yeah. Because, it's nice, because I'm hoping that we might be able to get him to do another project for us.
Yeah. If he's a good contractor, he's worth his weight in gold.
Yeah. So we would like to hear from you, our listeners. How do you feel about relinquishing control? When do you struggle with it? When is it easy for us? Easy for you? You can let us know at 413-424-GTGE. That's 4843. You can head over to gettingtogoodenough.com and leave a comment in the show notes, or you can connect with us on social media. On Instagram and Facebook, we're at Getting to Good Enough, and on Twitter, we're at GTG Enough. Until next time, this is Shannon Wilkinson in Portland, Oregon.
And Janine Adams in Portland, Oregon.
And we hope that good enough is getting easier for you. I got nothing.
I got something.
Oh.
I'm always impressed that you remember all the social media handles. I know it's not in front of you.
Oh.
It's just in your memory.
Yeah.
Very impressive.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.